Hello, and welcome to News Hour with limited intel. As we come on the air, we turn to Indonesia and a developing hobbit story. No, not the ones from Lord of the Rings, but the real-life hobbits that may still exist on a remote island in Indonesia. According to research released by anthropologist Gregory Forth, published in The Scientist, there is a possibility that a relic population of tiny human-like creatures, known as Homo floresiensis, or the hobbits, are still roaming the jungles of Flores, alongside the fearsome Komodo dragons. 20 years ago, a team of Australian and Indonesian scientists discovered the remains of 7 hobbits in a cave called Liang Bua. These hobbits were only about 3.5 feet tall, had brains the size of a chimpanzee's, and lived between 100,000 and 12,000 years ago. The scientists proposed that these hobbits were a new human species, descended from an ancient ancestor that migrated out of Africa. But because of the limited resources on the island, they evolved into smaller and smaller versions of themselves, a phenomenon known as island dwarfism. This has been observed in other animals, such as elephants, hippos, and deer, but never in humans. Some skeptics have argued that the hobbits were just modern humans with diseases that stunted their growth. They pointed out various flaws in the hobbit fossils, such as the shape of the skull, the teeth, and the bones. They also questioned how such a small-brained creature could make stone tools, hunt animals, and use fire, as the evidence suggested. The debate has raged on for years, with both sides presenting new arguments. But then something unexpected happened. The anthropologist Forth heard stories from the local people of Flores, the Leo, about encounters with living hobbits. These hobbits, or Abu Gogo, as the Leo called them, were hairy, smelly, and had a penchant for stealing food and children. Forth interviewed 30 eyewitnesses who had seen the Abu Gogo. Forth has since written a book about his findings, called Between Ape and Human, an anthropologist on the trail of a hidden hominoid, which is available now. He said that his conclusions were based on the best rational and empirical evidence, and that the Abu Gogo were either still alive or had become extinct very recently. He said that the best explanation for the Abu Gogo was that they were indeed the hobbits, or H. floresiensis, and that they had somehow survived for thousands of years, hiding from modern humans and other predators. So, are the hobbits real or not? And if they are real, where are they now? Are they hiding in the dense forests, the dark caves, or the deep valleys of Flores? Or are they gone forever, leaving behind only bones and stories? This brings us to a very curious question. If these tiny tots can escape our attention for so long, what about their bigger and smarter kin? Could there be a secret society of superhumans living among us, or even over us or under us? Are those mysterious flying objects and weird lights in the sky actually their vehicles, or maybe their toys? Or are they just having a laugh at our expense, for fun? And if they are, why don't they ever ask us to join them? Are we not fun enough for them? Are we just like ants to them, a minor nuisance hardly noticed? Are we not as advanced and awesome as we think we are?
Welcome to SvTv Spectral View Televised Vision. I'm Greg Dirkle, and this is Limited Intel News Hour, where we bring you the past week's most important news from Earth Realm 369 in just 10 minutes. SvTv is your #1 choice when it comes to interdimensional spectral news and entertainment, and is the official home of Flea Flip Blorts. In the latest news from this world science scene, we turn to nuclear fusion, the process that powers the sun and the stars, and the ultimate dream of clean and unlimited energy. Yes, nuclear fusion, the holy grail of physics, the solution to all our problems, the thing that will make us all rich and happy. Nuclear fusion is the process of fusing 2 light atoms, such as hydrogen, into a heavier one, such as helium, releasing a huge amount of energy in the process. The problem is, it's very hard to do, because you need to heat the atoms to millions of degrees, and then squeeze them together with enormous pressure, and then keep them stable for long enough to get more energy out than you put in. And that's not easy, because the atoms don't like to be heated, squeezed, or stable. They like to be cool, free, and chaotic, just like most of us. But some brave and clever scientists have been trying to achieve nuclear fusion for decades, using various devices and methods such as tokamaks, stellarators, lasers, magnets, and even cold fusion. And they have made some progress, but not enough to make it practical or profitable. Until now, a team of Korean researchers at the Korea Superconducting Tokamak Advanced Research, or KSTAR for short, has achieved a nuclear fusion reaction for 30 seconds at temperatures exceeding 100 million degrees Celsius, nearly 7 times hotter than the core of the sun. That's crazy hot, right? 30 seconds of fusion at 100 million degrees. That's amazing, incredible, unbelievable. That's longer than most relationships and hotter than most Tinder hookups. So, what does this mean for the future of humanity and the planet? Well, it means that we are one step closer to harnessing the power of the sun and solving the energy crisis and saving the environment and ending poverty and achieving world peace and exploring the galaxy and meeting aliens and becoming gods. Or, it means that we are one step closer to blowing ourselves up, destroying the planet, and mutating us all into monsters, unleashing the apocalypse. Or, it means nothing at all, because it's still too expensive, too complicated, too dangerous, and too far away from being commercially viable. Or, it means something else entirely, because I have no idea what I'm talking about, and I'm just making stuff up as I go along. Or, it means whatever you want it to mean, because it's your life, and you can do whatever you want with it. Turning to news from Google, the internet giant that knows everything about you, even the things you don't want to know about yourself. Yes, Google, the company that has more power than most governments and more money than most countries. Google, the company that can make you famous or ruin your life with a single click. Google is facing a historic antitrust trial in the United States, where the Department of Justice and several states are accusing it of illegally maintaining a monopoly on search and digital advertising technologies. The trial, which began in September, is expected to last for several months and could have major implications for the future of the internet and the online economy. The plaintiffs allege that Google has used its dominant position to stifle competition, harm consumers, and abuse its power. They claim that Google has done this by acquiring or eliminating potential rivals, forcing publishers and advertisers to use its products, and manipulating the online ad auctions that determine the prices and placements of ads. Google, of course, denies any wrongdoing and argues that it faces plenty of competition in the online market. It says that its products are popular because they are innovative, efficient, and beneficial for users. It also states that it has invested billions of dollars in developing and improving its technologies, and that it offers them for free or at low cost to consumers and businesses. Google says that the lawsuit is based on outdated and inaccurate assumptions, and that it will harm the open web and the digital economy. So, who is right and who is wrong in this epic battle between the government and Google? Well, that's for the judge and the jury to decide, but it appears the whole thing is a joke. Not a funny joke, but rather a sad and scary one. A joke that exposes the hypocrisy and corruption of both sides. A joke that reveals the absurdity and futility of trying to regulate something as complex and dynamic as the internet. That shows how powerless and ignorant we are as consumers and citizens in the face of the tech giants that control our lives. Yes, this trial is a joke, and we are the punchline. And the only thing we can do is laugh, because crying would be too depressing. Let's laugh at the ridiculous arguments and evidence presented by the lawyers, at the clueless and biased questions and comments made by the judge and the jury, at the outrageous and contradictory statements and actions taken by Google and its competitors. Let's laugh at the absurd and hilarious consequences and scenarios that could result from this trial. Let's laugh, because laughter is the best medicine, and we are going to need a lot of it to survive this world. Thank you for watching Limited Intel News Hour. Introspectral and dimensional travel for SvTv Earth Realm 369 edition was provided by Magical Time Gravy and Limited Intel Podcast, a division of Limited Intelligence Earth Technologies. Limited Intel, we are what is behind every dissatisfied customer's frown.